when my daughter was born, we had nobody to help out, like in family. There was no family. Like around. My ex-wife's parents were in Australia, right. So my mom was in another state. So right. What happened? But even if that's the case, I've heard people say, well, we don't want to spend a lot of money on a sitter. You know what? Right. It is worth the money. Like if you have to pay $100 once a week to go to a movie, go to a movie and spend some time together, it is worth it. If your marriage and your life is important to you, that $100 or whatever it is worth it. If you can't afford to take care of your marriage, then you can expect it to fall apart, or your relationship with your kids to not be as good as it should be. So there is no excuse, right? You know.
And as an alternative to that, because obviously money can be a huge deterrent, you can always find that person who, whether they're related to you or they're a friend, that's like willing to help you out because they care about you, or they have a love for your child. It's that simple. Yeah. You know?
Just don't let it be somebody off the street that you don't know. You know what I mean? Or like your cousin that's no, I'm not even, we're on cable right now. Don't even go there.
So. Okay, yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I get what you're saying, and yes, obviously. But you know, it's true that there's always somebody in your life who's like, please let me take care of your child so you can go out. You know?
No, there is.
I mean, it's certainly not unheard of. I just want to be careful with our time here. Okay, so we were talking about the that sort of immediate crisis period, that first year after you have a baby, and making the time and the sort of room for it psychologically to take care of yourself, because that is exceptionally important.
It's a necessity, really. You have to do it.
People will tell you that, like, make a date night or whatever. But
it sounds stupid,
but it's true.
It's so dumb and cliche sounding, but it's the truth.
So. The same way that, sleep when the baby sleeps, in the beginning. A lot of women don't pay attention to that, and it's really helpful to do so. Yeah. So then moving forward, we were just, talking about, once your kids aren't as high need and demanding as they were as infants, when they grow up a little bit, kind of connecting back to who you really felt you were, who your character, your personality was before you had a child, before you had the name mommy attached to you, or daddy, right?
And that could be anything like your fashion style, the entertainment, like music that you loved, or just things, just having an interest in other things besides just being a parent. And I do hear some women out there say, all I've ever wanted to be was a mother, and that's my job. And okay, I get it. All right, I get it. You can send the hate letters in to me. I mean, but you know what? You were somebody. You were somebody before you had children. I'm sorry. Everybody is somebody. Everybody. Sorry, just kidding.
Yeah,
so you are somebody. You don't label yourself just as this mother, and that's your job. That's great that you like that,
and
but
then
bring yourself...
wake-up call, you're only going to be in that role for, less than 2 decades of your life, really.
Well, no, you're always a mom.
You know what I mean.
No, I know,
sort of demanding role. You don't walk around with a 30-year-old child and go around saying, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
And and the mothers that do, a lot of them end up becoming depressed when the kids move on, and if your only role is
if your only role, your only identity is wrapped up in that, you're not kind of you're not filling yourself out with these other
and you shouldn't label yourself in any exactly. It doesn't just apply to being a mom. So
it's interesting because a lot of people do really feel very connected to their identity as a parent, and that is a huge identity. I mean, it's a wonderful one to have, and for a lot of women, for example, they find it ultimately more fulfilling to be in the identity role of a mother than they did as a a PR person or a marketing consultant or a like any one of those job titles, right? When you sort of define your character by a job title, it might not be as fulfilling as fulfilling your role as a parent. So, so there's that element to it. But we were really talking about how, well, I can say from my experience, and probably you as well, your whole connection to music, for example, right? Like for us, I mean, not everybody feels this way, but you know, after I had kids, I stopped hearing live music. I hadn't been out to hear live music and I couldn't even tell you how long. Years had gone by when suddenly I was like craving it and feeling like I need to go see a band. I don't even care who it is. I'll just go to Maxwell's and like.
And also, not to cut you off, but not, you know, by knowing your kids' music, that doesn't count as going out to see live music. Like if you took your kids to see the Wiggles, like I notice a lot of times that like mothers, especially like my friends on Facebook, they'll be like, they almost become fans of the kids' music and TV shows because that's all they're doing at the moment. And don't do that. I mean, you have better taste than that. You don't need to like love Barney or the Wiggles. You're going to criticize
me now because I like listening to Taylor Swift.
Well, you know, I have nothing against her.
And I willingly listened to Miley Cyrus when that album came out when the kids were not in the car.
But that's kids pop music. I'm talking about like the parents that are like stuck in like, you know, that.
What was the guy that was so popular when like before the Wiggles?
Blues Clues?
No, he strictly did Rafi. It was strictly
oh my god, but he was kind of cool because like
cool.
You know, he was like I thought he was that dude was so weird, man. I mean, he was probably like.
Here's the thing about music and kids. This is just what I want to say. Your kids will gobble up whatever you give them. Yeah. So if you feed them the Ramones, Slayer, they don't care. Miles Davis, they'll eat it up. You know, whatever it is. My friend once was like, "Oh yeah, my son doesn't listen to pop music. He likes." What did she say? Dead, blind jazz musicians.
Oh my god.
Something really obtuse, you know, because that's what they fed him. I mean, it's the same thing. You feed your kid tofu and kale, that's what they'll grow up liking.
True.
You feed them Thelonious Monk.
Yeah.
Case in point, right? And then people walk around being like, "Oh my god, my son is so sophisticated.
He likes Motorhead." You know? You know, just
what are you gonna say? Blind Lemon Jackson?
Just don't feed your kid the Beatles and think you're being like cool and sophisticated because that's played out. That's
every
played
kid
out.
will listen to the
Beatles. You know, that's played out.
And basically, every kid will love the Ramones. Why? 3 chords. It's
that's true.
Simple. Fun lyrics and they're fast.
That's right. So
kids will love the Ramones. So don't like start patting yourself.
So like what you like and don't lower your standards for your children for God's sake. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, like what you like.
No, that's true. It is lowering your standards a little bit. You know,
when you're hanging out with a parent and they're singing like, you know, fruit salad, yum. It's like, come on, man. Like, you know.
Listen, I met this guy at a party once, and he said to me, he said, when you stop listening to new music, that's when you start to get old. And it stuck in my head for years. I was like, whoa, that is quite a statement. And this guy had he had a lot of experience in the music industry. And I just thought that was a very interesting way of looking at it, because basically what does happen is that, and I read this as a statistic, that after the age of 35, we stop being attracted to new music. We like what we like at whatever time period, you know, we fell in love with a particular genre of music.
Yeah.
So for you, that would be
80s metal and early hip hop. So you can tell that I'm still hip though from the 80s. No, but I hear what you're saying. And you don't have to love the music that's out. Just know it. Just like current events. You need to know who the current president is. You don't have to like who it is. You know.
So therefore, you should know who Lady Gaga is.
That's right, Lady Gaga. The new.
My girl's like Peaches.
Did you hear that, Peaches? Don't watch. I'll get the band will say something.
No, because they're on the soundtrack for Whip It. You know that movie Whip It.
You mean Peaches? Yeah. Like, you know, F the pain away, Peaches. Like my.
Yeah, but the song on that soundtrack, I don't think has any swears in it. Yeah. Okay. I think we could wrap it up.
Okay, so stay true to yourself as a parent. Don't. You know, it's great to take care of your kids, and there's nothing more special than that, but you need to really make sure you dedicate time to yourself. Did that just turn off?
No,
okay.
But I'm going to turn you off in a second.
Okay.
Excellently said, and thank you for joining us.
Bye.